What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome to my Parks to Premier League here with Billericay Town FC. So we finish off our third season in the Championship now, aiming for promotion. Reading this English season review will find out if we did so. The season accumulated with Coventry City lifting the title. Along with them, Derby County went up in second and Ipswich Town went up via the playoffs and they'll be playing in the Premier League next season. So sadly for us, we didn't get promoted this year. I mean, that was realistically the plan, the 3-year plan: survive, build, promotion. And looking at the league table, you see that we didn't even get the playoffs. I mean, 7th place isn't really good enough. 2 points off 6th, so we were very close to getting playoffs. I mean, 2 points off 6th, 3 off 5th, 6 off 4th. We were very, very close. Very, very tight division this season. I mean, in the past few years, it's always been like a runaway team, or it's always been quite a jump between certain standards. This league was quite close here again, but still it's a bit of a jump between 3rd and 4th. But this season it was all tight, all very close. It was all undecided up to the last day. So this year was really great division to be in, but sadly we didn't come off the better team. I mean, I say it's so close. Coventry and Derby only separated by goal difference. To win the league off goal difference is amazing as well. But overall the squad has improved. The club, we've improved drastically in comparison to last season. Last season, I've got, if you can remember, I'll go back anyway. There was a big jump between us and 7th. So we really were just that lucky mid-table team. We just come ahead of the mid-table pack, but just not good enough for the promotion pack. But this season we're definitely there. And if we don't get promotion next season, I think there's something seriously wrong with the squad, because they're now developed, they're now used to the division. A lot of the players are good enough now, and the squad turned around. I mean, we'll go to goals scored. It shows us that we were 6th best team here. I mean, 6th best team here. Goals against, we had the wrong thing. We had the 6th best defence. So the fact is, the goals scored, we were one of the best. The goals against, we playoff team, but somehow the results just didn't go our way and ended up being 7th. So disappointing, like I say. So we won 22, drew 8, and lost 16. But all or nothing. Not enough draws really in for my personal preference. I wanted to draw a few more games. Let's go into past positions though. If I get my words out. And you see that we didn't actually ever get in the playoffs apart from that first stint of the season. I mean, since game 9? Since game 9 we won in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's not good enough. We're constantly chasing. And when you're constantly chasing, you always have to hope the team above you slip up. And pretty much have to be on near perfect form 100% of the time, just so you can capitalize on the team slipping up. And for us, we couldn't do that. A few inconsistencies, but more than just that. I mean, chasing is always harder than setting the mark, being the bar setters. So anyway, let's move on to the fixtures. Have a look at who we brought in. We're already thinking about next season. We've already pre-signed a couple of players here. But I'm going to show you Adam Dodd, player we signed for next season. I'm going to show you him next season, so you won't see him next. I'll talk about the outs for this season, which really would be next season, so the ones happening in June. But we made one January signing apart from the one I already showed you, and that was Randolph Bordini. Sorry, not Bordini. Bordoni. This centre-back from Inter Milan. Pretty good player. I mean, I'm happy with this. We're not paying him any of his wage for the loan as well. Being a Championship team, Premiership sides often ask you pay, a percentage of a waiver or a monthly fee and things like that, and I just can't afford it. So I often have to look at foreign clubs for loans. And Inter Milan, centre-back, right-back, quite good cover really. Very good player, so happy to sign him there. But that was the only one we brought in. I mean, didn't really make too much of an impact on the side. Being a lone player and stuff like that. The outs, we loaned out Callum Banton, our young keeper, try and get him some experience at FC Halifax, try and build up his value and things like that, because I doubt he'll ever really break into the side. He'll probably just end up selling him on, but get him some games abroad, get some games at a lower level. It's always nice. Clarence James, we signed him this season, sold him, ended up selling him in January. After 6 months, I decided that he just wasn't good enough, wasn't playing at a good enough standard. And I felt we could get better players, better players out there, and we had better players at the squad. So 100k for him off to Rotherham, who are a League 2 side. I'm surprised they have 100k, but off he went there. How do you do in Rotherham, actually? Not too great there either, so really not a great player, nothing special there. I think 100k is a good bit of sum of money to pick up from him. Loaned out Henrico Leshner. Again, just trying to get rid of him. I mean, you can even see in the transfer centre. Still trying to get rid of him, but he's rejecting contracts, so it's just a nightmare to get rid of. Hopefully this summer, we can just finally be gone with him. We sold Miguel, a backup right back. We have, he's a decent player. We signed him in this season. A decent player. Played a few times, but I just felt, again, we had better backup options. I loaned in that player. I felt that we could then, in summer we can loan in another right back if it comes to it, or we can sign one on a cheaper wage. But 250k, $250,000 is just a big chunk of money again. I like some of these guys' stats, but like I say, the money is a bit more important to us right now. So I sold him for next season. Sergei Ortega, $3 million. This guy is an absolute beast of a right attacking mid. And Obrenovic we sold, if you remember, we sold him last summer. So, for 2.4 million, sorry. And, Ortega had an amazing season for us. If I go on his history, you see 11 goals, 10 assists. He was our top goal scorer in the league this season, and in all competitions actually. So, he had a mind-boggling good season. And because of that, you have a good season in the Championship. Premiership sides often will come in looking at him. And this guy is amazing. Look at his value now, 6.5 million. It has shot up. I mean, that often happens when you sign a player. His value will increase a little. But, an amazing player, and I just had to let him go. Like I say, 3 million is too good to turn down for me. And if we look at our finances currently, with that 3 million coming in, with all the money you get for ending your championship season, etc., and things like that, we're still 2.0 million in the balance. So even with the 3 million transfer we just brought in, we've lost money from that already. So, I mean, it's this season. It said we made 2.9 million. I'm not sure when it ticks over to next season, things like that. It may count as next season already. But it's just disappointing, really, that the financial situation we're in, we have to sell some of our best players to try and keep us afloat. And the last guy to leave was Musua Mumbeya. Yeah, young centre-back. Didn't really play him a lot. Moaned that he wasn't getting played. I mean, look, 0 games this season. Just moaned at me, so I thought I'd let him go. 190k, good bit of money for a player that never really made an impact on the side, so happy with that. So those are the transfers ins and out. Sorry about that. Those are transfers ins and out. And we made a lot of money this season. Only spent 6k on Dodd. I will show you him next season, like I say. I mean, he's not an amazing player, only 6k, but I'll show you him next season, leave him a bit of a surprise. But the fixtures themselves, how did we actually play in, the final half of the season? So, I think we already know about the Norwich game, but if not, we lost 3-0 at them. Pretty easy win for them in the end. But they are a Premiership side. I know they just got promoted last season, but they are a Premiership side. You have to respect them, and sadly they were just too good for us. But moving on from that, we drew 3-3 with Crystal Palace with Piera Brister and Mick Mellor, 3 players that have been with us for a long time now, all getting on the score sheet to earn us a point. After that, we lost 2-1 to Crew Alexander, with Mark Van Boegel getting the consolation goal in the end. But that's followed up with a 2-0 win against Burnley with Piera double. That was a nice victory to have, but we lost Ipswich then 2-1. The team ended up getting promoted, so they were a good side to face. They were a good team. I mean, a hard team to beat. So to only lose 2-1 to them is not too bad. I mean, looking at it then, I would have said, I want to win. But looking at the end of the season, you say, well, they were a good team. They did score a lot of goals. So the fact we only limited them to 2, one goal deficit is quite a alright defeat to take, I guess. We then won after that though to Peterborough 2-0 with an Ortega and Mark Van Boegel getting on the score sheet, and our second win on the bounce with a Brighton victory for us. But after that, we lost 3-2 to Birmingham. Again, another tight defeat. 2 early goals for us, but sadly, that wasn't good enough as they came back to beat us 3-2. Really just unable to hold the lead. It's not a good trait to have, really, so have to look to improve upon that. And there's an example of a victory that we could have probably had if we defended a little bit better, but sadly we couldn't. And that result there, that could have been the difference between us getting 6th and us getting 7th. But after that, 3-1 win against Wigan. The team ended up getting relegated, so quite an easy victory, one that we'd expect. Then beat Sheffield. We then lost to Sheffield Wednesday 1-0. That was disappointing. Could have probably drawn against them at least. And drawing to West Brom 1-1 with Daniel Lowe's goal getting us the point. Beat Chesterfield 5-1. Quite a dominant victory, one that we hadn't really had in a while. So it's nice to have a 4-goal deficit with Wujigard, Susi, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, and a Mark Van Boegel hat-trick, giving us all 3 points and all 5 goals. Sadly, again, 5-1 win. Shouldn't really lose the next game 1-0, but sadly we did against Watford. Bounce back though against Hartlepool 2-1 with a Hildebrand and a Los victory. Los goal, sorry, and a 2-1 victory. Before losing to Scunthorpe 1-0. But now the remaining games here, I mean, if we'd have won all of them, we would have been in the playoffs, and it's quite weird looking back now and saying that the actual Notts County game cost us. So I'll go through them anyway. So we beat QPR 3-1, beat Cardiff 2-0, beat Wrexham 3-2, beat drew Notts County 1-1, and beat Fulham 2-0. But the Notts County game actually said that after this game we weren't able to get in the playoffs. So if we'd have won this game, we would have kept our chances alive, and I'll show you. So with that in mind, let's have a look at, so keep that in mind. So, you know, we drew to Notts County. If we'd have won this game, we could have, you know, kept our chances alive to the last game of the season. Let's go into Birmingham's fixtures, and I mean, it just shows how unlucky I think we were this season. So this was the game we drew against Notts County, so they'd lost, and a victory for us would have meant going into the last game of the season we would have had 3 points behind them. Sorry, not 3 points. Would have been we would have been 3 points behind them. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, would have been 3 points behind them, and would have had a chance of getting in the playoffs. But sadly, we could only muster up a draw. And look, and if we go to the actual game, look, they were in the lead already. Vincent Alley, one of our ex-players, you know, scoring for Chesterfield, helping us try and get that playoff spot we really wanted. And I mean, we should have easily have won that game against Notts County, and the fact that we didn't was so annoying. And look, last game of the season they lost as well, so that was why it ended up only being 2 points. But I mean, we look at the goal difference. We had a better goal difference. We would have been in the playoffs. It's just so annoying to look back at a season like that and say, you know, one result change and we would have been in the playoffs. But, you know, you have to move on, you have to accept these things, and that's what we're going to have to do. So we're going to be spending another season in the Blue Square, what am I doing? I haven't been in Blue Square Bet Premier in ages, in the Championship before we get into the Premiership, sorry. Let's have a look at our squad. You know, I think we've made real progress in this league right now. So we've got the goals scored. I mean, we haven't had anyone really bagging a lot of goals. Like I said, Ortega would have had 12 goals this season. He would have been the top goal scorer in all competitions for us and in the league. So it shows why a team like Stoke would have been after him and why they spent $3 million on him. He's an amazing player. But otherwise, you know, our top goal scorers are Mark Van Brugel and Will Brister. Van Brugel did play a lot more games, and I would have expected a lot more goals from him. But hopefully next season we can, you know, change our fortune, get a few more goals. But overall, I'm not too disappointed with the fact that not too disappointed with the amount of goals we scored. I just would have liked an out-and-out amazing goal scorer for us. Assists, Hildebrand came second in the assists for the league, and, you know, played amazingly for us again. 16 assists isn't a huge amount of assists. Really does orchestrate the play in the midfield. He plays on the right centre mid, so I think this is the deep line playmaker. Yep, the deep line playmaker role. You know, Andres Pereira helps forward with the attacks. Hildebrand sort of floats, and Bruno pulls back, almost so we have like, you know, like I don't really know how to explain it. So hopefully, you know, when it comes to the games, we'll have a player like here floating. He'll be back here, and he'll sort of float there, almost like that. So we're adding an extra player to the attack. We've got a player behind, sort of picking up the cover and things like that. If you kind of understand where I'm trying to go with that. So our midfield is quite spread out, you know, offering options in different positions. But amazing for him to pick up a 16 assists. Along with Mark Van Brugel was 7, sorry. So overall we contributed 17 goals, which I'm happy with that. I mean, I do like, as a striker, I look at goals as well as assists, because if he couldn't contribute only 10 goals, but he's then offering 15 assists as a striker, I know it's probably unlikely, but if he's offering 15 assists, I'm going to say he's helped the squad create 25 goals, and that's an amazing stat for a striker to have. So Hildebrand, you know, contributing 20 goals is an amazing player as well. Player of the matches, who got the most? Hildebrand, picking up 5 there, and had an amazing season for us. But highest average rating, I mean, if you can't guess who this is, I mean, you've seen it on the league table if you caught a glimpse of it there, but highest average rating had to be Mick Mellor, didn't it? The amazing player, still defying all logic, still defying all the reports saying he's only a League One player, all his attributes that say, you know, I'm not a great player, I probably would be lucky to get a you know, bottom table championship side if I was to leave, but probably his best season. I mean, the only other higher average match rating was in League 2 when we got promoted for the first time. and he only played 26 games that season. So I'd probably say this was his best year. 3 goals, 3 player of the matches. One of the only third season not to pick up an assist for us as well. So it's quite a weird stat to have. But yeah, an amazing player. I'd probably say player of the season, if I were to give out an award for that, would probably be between Mick Mellor or Dustin Hildebrandt. But yeah, if we look at everyone over 7, look at that. Look how many players are now over 7 rated. I mean, I'll exclude the couple of players that, didn't play a lot of games, like Matty Stevenson and, like Shepherd and Bordini maybe. We exclude some of them players, that didn't play a lot of games. But still, the amount of players that did play a huge chunk of games for us over a 7 rating showed that the club and the players played well enough to get us out of this division. But a bit of bad luck means we have to spend another year here. But I think we can do very well next season. I'm hoping for a playoffs, maybe even an automatic promotion spot, maybe even a title. Who can say? Who knows? But it's going to be a very, very big season for us next year. And what I'm going to do is, because I haven't uploaded recently, I know I haven't uploaded in a couple of days. If this video can get, let's say, this video can get 8 likes. We'll say 8 likes because, I'm going to get 5 recently. If we can get 8 likes, I will upload another episode of this today. And yeah, hopefully by that next part we can be halfway through the season. We will be in a good position, hopefully, to win the league. I mean, I'm going to aim for that now. I mean, why not? Why not aim to win the league? So yeah, until next time, guys. Until then, peace out.